Danny Dyer stars in his brand new movie, Marching Powder. It's a Danny Dyer movie, so you should expect a bit of swearing. Bloody hell, a bit? So is this movie worth watching? Or should you blow the powder away and give this movie its marching orders? Morning everyone, or afternoon, or evening. It depends when you're watching this video, but it's morning when I'm shooting this video. Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Carl. Today's video, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the movie I watched last night at the cinema, which was Danny Dyer's new movie called Marching Powder, which was written and directed by Nick Love, who brought us the 2004 movie Football Factory. Now, when I first saw the trailer for Marching Powder, I think I was in the cinema watching Flight Risk, and it first came on. I did actually think it was going to be a sequel to the 2004 movie Football Factory, but it has nothing to do with Football Factory. There were some big guys behind me in the cinema last night that were drinking, and I think they were, I'm not saying they're hooligans, but they were a lot bigger than me. But then most people are bigger than me, aren't they? But they were watching it, and I don't think they were too impressed. They were staggering down the stairs, that sort of thing, to go to the loo and that. And when they walked out, they walked past the guy that checks the tickets. He asked what they thought of the movie, and they said it was shit, basically. But that's not what I thought of the movie. And I wanted to just talk to you a little bit about it. Is it worth you going and watch it at the cinema or waiting for the Blu-ray or 4K, that sort of thing? Please get involved in the comments. I'd love to know your own thoughts on Marching Powder, and please press that subscribe button if you can for more movie and drama reviews and crazy videos, that sort of thing. Thank you. The story follows a guy called Jack, played by Danny Dyer, who's a cocaine addict and a football hooligan, who after an arrest is given 6 weeks to turn his life around or face prison. But his efforts fail as his life spirals out of control. So what did I actually personally think of Marching Powder? Well, it did have a bloody lot of swearing, and I mean a lot of swearing. Now, you would expect this being a football hooliganism film, although it wasn't all about that. There was a love story in there as well, a guy trying to save his family. Now, it is a Danny Dyer movie, so you would expect a little bit of swearing in there. Now, if you don't like the C word in the swearing, I would advise that you don't watch this movie, because it was at least over 20-30 times in this movie, the C word. So if you don't like that word, probably avoid this movie. But, you know, if you can get past that, you know, that doesn't bother me at all. I watch a movie for the story, and yeah, it told a good story. I disagree with the drugs. Now, obviously it's called Marching Powder. There is a lot of drugs in there, and they're sniffing away on trains, they're sniffing away in pubs, that sort of thing. I don't know whether that's quite realistic or not, and I know it's called Marching Powder, but I don't really necessarily think that it needed to actually be in there. Watching the movie, it was a very funny movie in places. I mean, it did have me in fits in places. There were also a lot of one-liners that I thought didn't quite work and were a little bit below the belt, should I say, out of order. I'm not going to mention what they are, but yeah, they were a bit below the belt for me. They weren't funny because they were serious. I know it depends what sense of humour you have, obviously, but, you know, there were some guys mentioned in there and they've done some bad things, basically, and I don't think that really needed to be in there. Also, Danny Dyer's looking after his stepbrother who's got a lot of problems, and now I have twin disabled boys, and there's a certain word in there that used to be used for these people. Now, I'm sure Danny Dyer's not like that in real life, obviously, and you know, he does follow the script, that sort of thing, but I disagree with that word, and that was in there. I don't really like that word, but that's just me, because obviously that's quite close to home, you know, so that probably didn't needed to be in there, but it did tell a good story. It was funny in places. I thought the cast worked really well to deliver the story, and I thought Danny Dyer and his on-screen wife Stephanie Leonardis, I think her name is, I thought they were fantastic together. And you know, it's that's a typical married couple. You know, she wants more out of life. He's going off to his football and having fights, and then he's got this drug problem, drinking problem, that sort of thing. So you know, that was well, it's not quite realistic in my life, but it is in a lot of people's lives. So I thought that them two worked really well together. It was also good to see Jeff Bell in this movie as well. Now, Jeff Bell, he was in Green Street. He always plays this on-screen football hard nut. And now he had a part in this movie as well as the father-in-law, and you saw a different side of him. But then in places you got to see what he's normally like in his movies as well. So it's really good to see Jeff Bell back in these sort of movies. I'm going to give a mention to the young lad in this movie as well, Danny Dyer's son. While I was watching this movie, some of the stuff he was coming out with, you know, I was watching it, I was thinking, how can a young boy say these words and act the way he is? Now, obviously, I know it's acting, but it's an 18 movie. But when you read the cast, it is actually Danny Dyer's real son in real life, Artie Dyer. So you can understand why he was acting the way he is. I'm not saying Danny Dyer's brought him up. I'm going to get myself in a lot of trouble. I'm just saying he's followed the script, and obviously Danny Dyer's allowed him to do this. God, bloody Nora. But yeah, so anyway, I'm going to stop there before I get deeper and deeper in trouble. So what's my final thoughts on Marching Powder? It's definitely worth watching. It does tell a good story. It runs at a steady, entertaining pace. The ending could have been a little bit better, in my personal opinion. I don't know if I'd go to the cinema to watch this. Maybe wait till it goes on to Blu-ray or 4K, or maybe on Sky, that sort of thing, to watch this movie. Because, like I say, there is a lot of C words in there, and not everybody likes those C words and stuff. But, you know, it will attract a certain crowd. Like I say, those people that left at the end, they were hoping for football hooliganism film, which did have a little bit of fighting in there from the lower leagues in the English divisions, but not a great deal, and it did tell the love story as well. But I thought it was a very entertaining movie, and I will be buying it, and when it comes out, I'm watching it again because I liked it. But like I said, there were a few things in there that I thought didn't really need to be in there. The movie's rated an 18 here in the UK. It lasts for 1 hour 36 minutes. There's mild sex and nudity. There's over-the-top profanity, and there's over-the-top violence as well, as you would expect. I give Danny Dyer's new movie, Marching Powder, 3.5 out of 5 popcorns. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my mini short review after going to the cinema last night for Marching Powder. If you like this video, please do give it a like, and also don't forget to share and subscribe if you can. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.